What is up, YouTube? Epic 7 is a fucking disaster. Why do I say that? Well, we just got the preview for what's coming up in December and coming into 2026. This is going to be a high level just video just going over everything that you need to know because ain't no one really want to watch 45 minutes of them yapping and pure disappointment. So if you guys do enjoy, like, comment, and subscribe, you know what to do. First things first, we're going to be breaking down. I wish they had timestamps in here, but unfortunately we don't get these. But all you really got to know is they are changing the update schedule from 2 weeks to 3 weeks. Okay, what does that mean? That means we're getting less updates. Yay! But their justification for it is that they're saying that basically there's too much content. It's become a chore. They're eliminating. They're basically making it a little bit easier for people to manage all of the dailies, the monthlies, and all that shit they got to do, and the side stories, right? So every 9 weeks, there's going to be something called a version update, and I guess that's kind of like a bigger update, if you will, which is we'll have to see. The first one's going to be coming out on December 18th, as you can see, but it's not sounding too good. Okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna doom it too much, but they're just coping about how like we need to update the game every 3 weeks for more updates that are more meaningful and there's more thought put behind it and there's like bigger impact and all this shit, blah blah blah. But like in reality, it's like this has never been a problem. Okay, so whatever. Okay, this has never really been a problem, so I don't really understand. They're changing the battle content. You can see here they're basically changing it. So right now we have to do like Auto Tower, Hall of Trials, Expedition, sometimes Advent, etc., etc., etc. Now it's basically like this week you're doing Hall of Trials, Auto Tower, Advent. Next week you're doing something else, right? So it's limited, so you don't have to do like so much content all in one go. And as you can see here, Expedition, Trial, Constellation, Hall of Trials, right? Whether the system's actually good or bad, for me personally, I would say it's bad because less content means less rewards. Less rewards equals less progression. Less progression equals less fun in the game. Okay? Maybe for some people who are a bit more casual, where they think like, oh, less content, less chores, right? Less monthlies to do, like less hassle or whatever, right? But to me, I'm like, okay, but those people like it wouldn't even have played the game anyways, right? So like, I feel like this change is kind of pointless, personally, in my opinion. So they're also going to be adding a new battle pass, which I don't know if this battle pass is actually going to be paid. If it's free, whatever, right? They're basically covering all of the rewards that you would have gotten if they didn't change this like battle content to be on like a weekly rotation. As long as the battle pass is not paid. If it's paid, we need to send trucks to Smilegate for sure. But if it's not paid, it's just a free pass, it's like whatever, then whatever, right? I'm not gonna bitch and complain about it too much. It's not a big deal. Oh yeah, so I guess they also made this change where basically like the episodes they think that like they were saying, oh, like there's too many buttons, it's confusing, blah blah blah. So basically once you clear episode 1, you can go to episode 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't have to clear everything before you can get to the next episode. Overall, it's like a PvE quality of life change. And you just basically click less buttons with this timeline feature, right? So I mean, is it a dub for me personally? Not really. It's PvE related, so I don't really care. I'm already up to date, but maybe for newer players or returning players who haven't finished Adventure, I can see it being useful. So we'll leave it at that. Also, they're changing the supporter system. So right now, the supporter system, you have to like pick a supporter each time, right? For every single time you use Adventure or every time you need a supporter. Uh, if it's applicable for you, for newer players, I guess it is helpful where there's an auto feature that can assign a new supporter for each different battle, and then you can swap out the characters like more than one time. So you can use like the Satsuka and then the Aiden and the Satsuka into Aiden, as you can see here. So it's interchangeable, so it's no longer just like a one-time swap. So overall, again, it's a quality of life change, not a huge thing, but see it how you will. Okay, so yeah, they're also going to be changing a Hall of Trials. Again, more PvE content related, right? Right now, what they're saying is that the way that they designed Hall of Trials is every time there's a new character like Satsuka, right? The Hall of Trials is specifically designed with the rules intending to utilize Satsuka or Saria, right? But in turn, a lot of the other characters were basically in the game, like 350 plus characters, were neglected, basically, right? TLDR. So they're making a new resonance system here. I don't really know how it's going to work, but it does seem like it's going to highlight the newest character to use in Hall of Trials. As you can see here, if we zoom in, that is going to be Hecate, which is the unit from Sacred Site. So looks like this is kind of like high level what it's going to look like. In terms of how it actually feel, don't know yet, but only time will tell. Also, more PvE content that nobody fucking asked for. Automaton Tower. So, they're basically changing Automaton Tower. Long story short, you know these modules that we fucking pick, right? They're saying, oh wow, we're going to monitor which ones are not being used and then replace them and change them. Once again, who fucking asked? Absolutely nobody. They're dropping Advent eventually. So, Advent, they're saying that, oh, TLDR, like, there's going to be, like, modification gems that we need, right? Because obviously with repause and reversal set and stuff like that, so people need modification gems more often, so they're going to be dropping it more. But more importantly, they're also adding epic modification gems. Now, what is that going to do? These epic modification gems are going to allow you to max roll that substat, right? Right now, we have to take like 2, 3, 4, 5 rerolls of the modification gem. This one is just like a hard set. It'll go to the maximum percentage that you're looking for, right? So 9% HP or whatever the fuck it's going to be. And it's going to be interchangeable. You can use them on basically any set as long as the main stat, as long as it is applicable to that set. So as you can see here, epic modification gems won't have any restrictions, won't have set restrictions. However, you can use them on equipment for any set as long as the stat type matches, right? So for example, like what does that mean? Like basically, like I am assuming helmets are flat HP. You can't put flat HP on a helmet, right? So that's how I interpret that, but maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? We'll see. More PvE content nobody fucking asked for. Trial of Constellations Season 2. If you want to go through all of this, you can, but long story short, they're not really changing the actual bosses. They're just changing this feature where basically the Blessing of Stars will be adjusted. So there isn't really much changes. I mean, we'll have to see. I don't know. I mean, this doesn't really have any impact. Either way, Trial of Constellations is going to be totally fucking AIDS to do anyways. So, once again, for me, don't really care too much about PvE. However, one good thing about Trial of Constellations, though, getting reset, we're going to get all these molas back, right? So we can get them another time. So 30 Molagoras for doing Trial of Constellations Season 2. That means that's enough molas for basically like a whole new character, right? So overall, that's a W change, so we'll leave it at that. Alright, so there's going to be a change to the Otherworld Breach and having new equipment sets. So the Otherworld Breach right now features Reversal Set and Riposte Set. Those are going to be moved into Rift as well now. Otherworld Breach, they will now feature new equipment sets. 3 new equipment sets in Otherworld Breach. Now, here you're going to see its Warfare Set, which increases health and at the start of the battle resets skill cooldowns. Now, who could use Warfare Set? Dark Corvus, right? That's one that immediately comes to mind where his S3 has a cooldown, right? He comes into the game, immediately can S3, right? Acceleration Set, 4-piece. When someone ends their turn, increases speed. Now, I don't know if the increased speed is like pushes combat readiness or like if it's like you get CR every turn. Like how much CR do you get? Like is it just a speed buff? Like I don't really know how to interpret Acceleration Set too much yet. So we'll have to wait and see. But the way that I interpret this message is that it increases the speed at the end of someone's turn, so they're just going to naturally get more speed as the game progresses, like CR push. Or it's scaled, like Revenge Set, when you have lower HP, then you get increased speed. Something like that. I don't know. We'll probably get more information when this actually comes out. But, that, I mean, high level, I don't know what the right interpretation is, but that's just my interpretation for now. Pursuit Set 2-piece increases additional damage dealt. Now, this was a little bit concerning because, like, think of the fixed damage that's in the game right now, right? 3F Bellion, right? Or, yeah, 3F Bellion, Renact, fixed damage, Rupture, right? Rupture, I mean, Rupture is kind of soft, right? But Renact, 3F, Senya, right? Stuff like that where there's Oath of Punishment. Any of that, like, additional damage dealt increase, I think the Pursuit Set could be pretty interesting, I guess. It would be very scary on like a Renac on top speed and they roll like Pursuit Set that has like really high speed as well. That could be really scary on a Renac, but at the same time, like I don't know, a lot of these characters that that have additional damage in their kit, like, you know, Dragon Bite Senya, like Bellion, like Renak. A lot of the time they are, you know, they need specific sets, right? So for example, Bellion would need immunity. Dragon Bite Senya would need immunity most of the time, or you're running like HP set to get more bulk or whatever. Renak, you're just going like broken set, top speed, that type of thing. So you're not really going to be needing that pursuit set too much. But definitely, I will say there will probably be viability for sure with this set, 100%. Also, they're going to be adding a new equipment helper. So if you want to see more details about it, you can. But honestly, I think it's kind of whatever. It basically tells you like the type of gear that you can delete off your account. They did say that in this video that you shouldn't just rely on it like completely. So like they say double check the equipment, like don't just delete it, right? As you can see right here, they say don't trust it 100%. So again, it's just a helper to kind of recommend what gear that you don't need on your account and what you can delete. Personally, I think it's kind of useless, but maybe newer players or people with poor gear management, you know, maybe it's useful for them, right? Now, another feature that they'll be adding is there will be recommendation for what gear should be added to which hero. So again, this is more catered to like the early game, mid game player that's kind of just learning the game, getting a grasp of it. For like later game, end game players, really doesn't affect us too much. But overall, it's just quality of life for the new and returning players. So overall, I mean, I can't say it's bad. And now there's a new equipment management section as well. So where currently the sliders in the recommended equipment section are limited, making it hard to target various stats. So they're basically making it more customizable, right? The recommended equipment section that we already have in the game, making it more customizable so that if you want to make it like a like you can see how the notches here, they goes up to 6 now instead of just like 1 2 3, right? 1 2 3 felt very like squishy, felt very restricting. Having it be a bit more spread out, maybe you can you know, make some different builds. Overall, it's a W change, right? Nothing bad to say about the sliders here. All right, so the new hero that we're gonna first talk about is Hecate. Hecate is gonna be coming from Sigurd's site. If you want to know the lore about her, go watch the video. But basically, she will be coming out as a limited hero. 5-star Earth Elemental Hero, Elemental Warrior, which means it works with Sweet Miracle. Okay. 102 speed means it's not an opener. It's kind of like a bruiser. Okay. Self imprint attack percentage. Okay. Skill introduction. S2 passive. Enemy heroes cannot revive and cannot be granted immortality. Oh my god! When attacking, penetrates the target's defense by 85% and cannot trigger a critical hit or a heavy blow. Oh my god. The game is saved. The game is fucking saved. The game is saved, by the way. Not actually saved, but kind of saved. Oh my ruck and rod, chat. S3. After granting increased attack to the caster for 3 turns, so she self-attack buffs, attacks the enemy by releasing the force of the Netherworld. When the target is a hero, ignores damage share. Begins the first battle with a full skill cooldown count. Soulburn. Increases greater attack buff. Wait, yo, you could low-key use this with Thorn of the Blue Rose, the Soulburn on turn 1, right? And then you can get Gab. That could be pretty interesting, I think. Okay. Ignores damage share, which is also really good versus Lady of the Scales too, so that's very good. S1. Attacks the enemy with Sigurd's Scythe before increasing combat readiness of the caster by 20%. When used on the caster's turn, activates Final Deliverance as an extra attack. Final Deliverance. Attacks all enemies before granting stealth to the... What? What? Are you fucking serious? She gets built-in stealth? What the fuck? Huh? Attacks all enemies before granting stealth to the caster for 1 turn and decreasing skill cooldowns by 2 turns. Oh my fucking god, chat. So this is a 6-turn cooldown, right? For S3. Bro. What? She's gonna get built-in stealth? Are you fucking me in the ass raw? Yes, you are, Smilegate. What is this? Artifact. Tome of Life's End. When attacking, if a non-critical hit is made, increases damage dealt by 20% and deals additional damage proportional to the caster's attack to the target. Isn't this just a better Uberius? like, this is... Isn't this kind of, like, strong as fuck? Like, what? Amiki is gonna get even more... I mean, this is a new Amiki best in slot artifact, right? But, like, that's pretty insane. I mean, this is gonna be a limited artifact, though, chat. A limited artifact? Oh, man. Not this shit again, bro. However, I will say one thing that is good about this compared to Uberius is Uberius does need to be plus 30. This one looks like you can just have plus 15. And I think at plus 15, this would go to 15% then, I assume. So, I mean, okay. I mean, I can see it being good. We're going to skip right forward. We're going to be seeing ML Diene. So, Shepherd of the Dark Diene, basically an ML5 coming out. If you want to know the lore about her, go watch the fucking video. I'm not here to talk about it for you. We don't know really anything about it, but her animations do look pretty sick, so there's that. And then the next hero that's going to be coming out will be Aki, who will be the character from Strock Gauntlet. Once again, we don't know like what his kit is, but he is going to be a hero that I assume might be free, just because he is the protagonist of this new like episode that they're doing. So surely it's probably going to be free, I think. But don't hold me to that, right? Now, last but not least, we're also going to be getting Elbrus into the game. So as you can see here, Elbrus will be added. In this portrait for Elbrus, she's sitting on the throne, and there's been a lot of, teases with Sari and stuff like that. So she will be added to the game as well. Don't know if she's going to be an ML or not, or limited, because they did not mention that in the video. So we don't know, right? Honestly, I think it's going to be Moonlight, because they did talk about adding 2 new ML5s in the game during the next, like, version update or whatever is coming out. So... right, Cookie said Light Iseria, they said ML, perfect. Yeah, so it's gonna be an ML. She will be ML as the new character. Rack my whole terminal. Okay, so another big change, I guess, if you're a whale, I don't know. In the Covenant Summon section, you can choose specific heroes and specific artifacts that you can target from Covenant Summon, which I think are, overall, it's a pretty W change. Why? If you see these artifacts, right? Renewed Will is tied to Fenris. You're not really going to want Fenris. Alexis Basket. Uberius Tooth. Right, some of these Wind Rider, right? Some of those artifacts are not actually tied to any specific character. So having the Covenant Summon be put in a way where you can pull specific artifacts that you need and or are missing, I think overall is a W change. This is a Giga Whale activity, right? You're only fucking summoning and Covenant Summon if you're a fucking whale. But I will say it is a good change, right? It's not a bad change by any means. If you're looking for imprint specifically as well, like, I can't say it's bad. I can't knock on it, right? It's not a bad change. So there's that, right? Take that how you will. They're also going to be introducing Chronicle bookmarks that can only be used in Covenant Summon. From what they say, they're going to be dropping 100 new summons for, like, new and returning players, so we just kind of eat shit. Upgrade to the Premium Epic Pass to receive up to 224 summons, so again, another Battle Pass. But basically, they're going to be giving it to us as, like, rewards and stuff like that. So overall, I mean, again, W change. Headhunt is coming back. So Moonlight Hero Recruitment Event, as you can see here, you're going to be able to just go through Moonlight's, just basically get your ML5, right? It's the same as we have had it every year. It's same through the daily reputation tasks as you can see on screen. Nothing has changed. So just go get your ML5 that you're looking for. ML Aria will be included for those of you that are looking for that, right? Also, if you made it to this part of the video, there's going to be a huge code, E7 Hecate 1218 _gift. You get a slate or bottle of knowledge, 1,000,000 gold, 10 Molagora, and 1,218 energy. Okay, so make sure you guys do go claim that. That's going to be huge. But yeah, that's basically everything that they said, and then they talked about their future plans, but all of that is just yapping to me. Like, future plans, they're just saying, oh, we're going to update the story, all this, blah, blah, blah. Who fucking cares, right? They didn't give us any RTA updates. We don't have our Guild War frames. They're not doing any testing for RTA. No third pre-ban. No changes to warfare rules. Just, like, Epic 7 is a PvP turn-based gacha, and we got 0 updates for PvP, but we got, like, a bajillion updates for PvE that nobody asked for. But overall, I would say the W changes are the epic modification gem, the 30 Molagores that we can get from Trial Constellations 2. The new equipment sets are very interesting, so obviously that's new content, a new boss, that's lit. Outside of those few things, I guess like Headhunt is a good thing, I guess. Outside of those four things, I don't know, man. I it's looking kind of grim for the RTA, but anyways, if you guys did enjoy, please drop a like and comment for the algorithm. Subscribe if you haven't already. See you guys in the next video. Bye.